Hello everyone, CM Freeze here, and if you don't know this about me, I am a massive Atlanta Hawks fan. Been watching the Hawks for about 15 years now, and today they lost to the Chicago Bulls in the play-in game and their season is officially done. This video is just going to be a recap of the Atlanta Hawks season. I'm going to look at their season as a whole and give my takes on the season. First off, how did the season go? Well, as you can see here, I don't know if my camera is actually blocking this, so sorry if it is, but the Atlanta Hawks finished 36-46. They had a losing record. They were projected to have a winning record this season. I think they were projected around 44, 45 wins. So they won about 8 to 10 games less than they should have. And I'd like to say, for starters, that the Atlanta Hawks season, they had many injuries, and that's something we can't ignore, right? The Atlanta Hawks had a lot of injuries, as I will show you here in a second. But this team underperformed in almost every way possible. It was a very difficult season to watch as a Hawks fan. The Hawks, it seemed like they were down about 5 games from 500 the entire season. So looking at the Atlanta Hawks season here, they actually started off the season losing their first 2 games, then won a couple, then were winning and losing. They got to 8-7 here, they got to 9-9, and then ever since 9-9, it went downhill. We're on a 5-game losing streak. Here they're 12-19, then they tried to win a couple, then they lost a couple, then we were down 8 games, then we went on a little 3-game winning stretch, then we lost 4, then we went on a 4-game winning stretch, lost 2, won 2, lost 3. Look at all these streaks. And then here's the brutal one right here, man. We were 31-39, and then went on a big winning streak. Or we were 30-39, my bad. We were 30-39. Then went on a 6-1 streak. We were 36-40, and we were tied with the Bulls. The Bulls were also 36-40. We had a tied record. Whoever won more games would be the 9 seed. The loser would be the 10 seed. And we lose 6 straight. We dropped the last 6 games of the season. Last 7 if you want to count that Bulls game. So ever since we were 9-9, our season, we were just behind the rest of the season, and it was so streaky. We would win a couple of games, actually look like a complete team, and then forget about everything and lose 5, 6, 7 games in a row. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch as many Hawks games as I would have liked to. I did not watch as many Hawks games as I would have liked to. But that's because this team was just not fun to watch, and here's why. So if we look at this Atlanta Hawks team, they had the 2nd worst defense in basketball. That's right. 2nd worst defense in all of basketball. Only the Wizards, who went 15-67, had a worse defensive season than the Atlanta Hawks. The Utah Jazz tied for them with worst to 2nd at least, so at least they're not all alone. But literally tied for 28th, 2nd to last, worst defense in the NBA. I couldn't tell you how many times I watched the Atlanta Hawks just not play defense. I watched the Chicago Bulls game. They got a wide open shot almost every fucking possession, and it was brutal. We never contest anything. We never have any contested shots, and it's so brutal. Offensively, yeah, we are a really fun team offensively. Defensively, though, good God, is this team just absolutely abysmal defensively. Nobody plays defense. I couldn't tell you how many times Hawks guys were looking at one another like, who has this guy? Why is this guy wide open? They're so frustrated, yet they don't do anything about it. They just sit there, and they don't do anything about it. And it's just so sickening how I feel like nobody actually plays defense. Clint Capella's a damn brick. I shouldn't say a brick wall. He's a brick wall, but not in a good way. He's not a good brick wall. He's stationary. He doesn't do anything on the defense. Just throw it to the big guy. Capella's not going to contest him. DeAndre Murray, Trae Young. Shit, man, I don't see either of them trying to play defense. Daniil Hunter's probably the worst person because he actually tries, but he sucks. Daniil Hunter actually legit tries to play defense, and he's just ass, and he can't do anything. Our entire team doesn't play defense. Bogey doesn't play defense. No one plays defense on the team. I couldn't tell you how many times you watch a Hawks game and they're getting so many easy damn layups. They don't even contest. And then they just look at one another. They just look at one another. And honestly, I think this all starts with Quinn Snyder, their head coach, dude. Quinn Snyder, I swear to God, I never see him drop a play. I never see him try to do anything on defense. I don't get what they're doing. As the head coach, why isn't he trying to get on the Hawks more? Why isn't he like, hey, why aren't we playing defense? Don't we want to win? No, I don't get it, honestly. It's the Atlanta Hawks are so mediocre. The last couple of years now, they've been in the play-in game. Last year, they were the 8 seed, beat the Heat. The year before that, they were the 9 seed, won 2 games. So the Hawks have been in the play-in now for 3 straight years. I mean, at least they were competitive the last 2 years. This year has been the worst year that I've seen under the Hawks with Trae Young. It's been abysmal. Been absolutely abysmal. They don't play defense. I want to actually quickly show this plus-minus chart. And Bogdanovich, actually, I know I just said he doesn't play defense. He doesn't if you watch. But he's the only guy on our team with a positive plus-minus. Murray here, man. I'll get into this in the second half of the video. But I'm not a Murray fan. I'm not a Murray fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not. I'm truly not. But if you look at our entire Heat team here, dude. Murray, Young, Hunter. Ogundeji, he's good, but he was hurt all season. Johnson was probably our best defender. At least he actually tried. You look at all of our starters, man. Where's Clint Capella? Clint Capella with only a negative 17, actually. That makes no sense to me. He didn't seem like he did anything, to be honest with you. This Atlanta Hawks team, literally everyone except 2 guys is negative in plus minus. They don't play defense. They do not play defense. And if you look at the team stats, like I said, a lot of the team was hurt. Trae Young, he missed a good amount of games. The only guys that really played in all games this season for us were Clint Capella, Bogey, and Murray. But Trae Young missed a substantial amount of games. DeAndre Hunter missed a substantial amount of games. Saddiq Bey was healthy for most of the season, got hurt at the end there. Ogundeji got hurt towards the end there, and that really sucked to see. Jalen Johnson looked like he was having such a promising season for us, also got hurt. AJ Griffin's been such a disappointment. It's so disappointing to see. But this Atlanta Hawks team, man. Just disappointing, deflating. I watched the Bulls game today. Just so deflating. They just don't play defense. And like I said, now let's get into how can the Hawks actually fix themselves. So we've gone over that they can score a lot. Congrats, they can score a lot. But you know what? Their team was hurt. Even last year when their team was healthy, they finished with a 42-42 record. It was something along those lines last year. The year before that, the same. They've been an average team the last couple of years. And I don't get it, because a few years ago, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks. They took that to 6 games, too. I loved what I saw. I thought the Hawks were going to be set up for the future, and then they traded away a couple of picks for Murray. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's our missing piece. Murray's going to be great defensively. He's going to be a great addition next to Trae Young. And it is abundantly clear that him and Trae Young do not play well with one another. When have you ever seen Trae Young and Murray actually drop a play with one another? That's never what happens. One of them will get the ball, run up the court, and pass it to somebody else. Either Trae Young will do a lob pass to Capella, or Murray will just take it himself and shoot a jumper. We don't run plays. Quinn Snyder, he's not a good head coach for the Atlanta Hawks. He's not. I don't like Quinn Snyder as a coach for the Hawks. He doesn't run plays. He doesn't hold guys accountable. Fuck, man, I'm just watching. It's like the Hawks are playing elite gym level basketball. Hawks would be a phenomenal gym team because they don't play defense and they're just constantly shooting up threes. They're making hella threes at least. Hawks are one of the best teams offensively, but it doesn't matter when you don't give a crap on defense and you just don't try at all. And it's just so frustrating. And honestly, I think the Atlanta Hawks need to just blow it up. I think they need to blow it up. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe that. Bogey, I love Bogey, man, but he's getting old. How much more does he have left in the tank? I know he's in his early 30s now. Yes, there are guys out there that could play for a longer amount of times. You know what? Maybe Bogey's got 2-3 years left in the tank. But with this Hawks team, do you seriously see us making a deep playoff push in 2 to 3 years? I sure as hell don't. I sure as hell don't. The Atlanta Hawks, we're going to finish with the 10th pick. You know, it's the lottery, so we have a 4% chance of getting the first pick. We'll see where we end, but odds are we're going to end at pick 10. If the Kings win the play-in game on Friday, we'll also get the Kings first round pick. So there's a chance we could have like pick 10 and pick 18. If the Kings lose the play-in game, then we don't even get their first round pick that we traded for Hunter or Kevin Huerter. And then we'll just have pick 10. And then we also, because we traded all of our picks for DeAndre Murray, we're not going to have draft picks for the next couple of years. Our first round draft picks are going to be scarce because we traded away our 2025th, 2027th, and 2028th, I believe. I know there's a couple of pick swaps in there, but we traded away a lot for Murray. And if you're the Atlanta Hawks, either Murray or Trae Young has to go. I honestly wouldn't be opposed to both, depending if we get the right price for him. Obviously, Trae Young is better than Murray. Trae Young is better than Murray, and I don't think there's any proof behind that. I know a lot of people this year have been like, oh, well, the Hawks played better without Trae Young, and I guess you can maybe say that's a little true, but I also don't think so. If we look at Trae's stats this season, the Hawks went 22-32 with him. That means that without Trae Young, they were 14-14. So the Hawks, even without Trae Young, were 14-14. Yes, with him, they lost 10 more games. I get that. But you can't look at Trae Young's stats and say that he's not a really good ball player. 26 points a game and 11 rebounds. He's shooting 43%, which isn't the best, but 37% from three is pretty good. 85% from the free throw line. Trae Young, also those 11 assists, he makes the team so much better. Trae Young is one of the best passers in the game. Really good three-point shooter. Yes, his defense sucks. Murray's defense sucks too. Murray also has bad defense. Let's not act like Murray doesn't have bad defense. He also sucks on defense too. So if we look at Murray's stats next to Young's here side by side, Murray is averaging 3 less points, 3 more rebounds, 4 less assists, 4.5 less assists. So, you know, Trae Young's getting more points based on assists. Trae Young has more points and assists than Murray. They're the same on steals. You look at field goal percentage, Murray has a 3% better field goal percentage overall, but a worse three-point percentage. So honestly, between Young and Murray, I would prefer Young. He's the better player. But Murray's on a cheaper deal. Murray actually signed a relatively cheap deal. So if you're the Atlanta Hawks and you're looking to salary dump, you'll also probably get more for Trae Young as well. So if you think Murray is good enough to lead the team as the point guard to a championship roster, and you know, Hawks went 14-14 with him, and they basically had nobody. So maybe you're saying, you know what? Murray can get the job done. Let's trade away Trae Young for... And a trade that I've seen a lot is Trae Young for Austin Reeves and 3 first-round picks. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Austin Reeves is a baller. Austin Reeves is really good. And Austin Reeves could actually probably work really well in the Hawks system because, as I said, Trae Young and Murray are both trying to be a number one. They're both trying to be the point guard. They don't play well off one another at all. I could see Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is basically like a younger Bogdanovich. He's a younger Bogey. He's a three-point specialist. But I watched some Lakers games. Austin Reeves, he's fired up, man. He has energy. He'll probably be pissed going to Atlanta, but Trae Young and for 3 firsts and Austin Reeves, I would definitely take that trade. We'll get all of our picks back that we lost trading Murray, and then we get Austin Reeves. So it's basically essentially So it basically essentially comes down to we get DeAndre Murray and Austin Reeves for Trae Young straight up. That's essentially what the trade's going to come down to. They've proven, Trae Young and Murray have proven they can't work together. They've proven that they just don't play well with one another. They haven't won a single damn playoff series together. They've won a couple of play-in games. They have not won a series together. Got blown out by the Celtics, and this year injuries hurt the team, but still they just sucked. And we're in salary cap hell. We have way too much salary cap. We're paying all these guys way too much money. Get rid of Bogey. Get rid of Murray or Young. Definitely get rid of Daniil Hunter. Definitely get rid of Daniil Hunter. We are paying him way too much money. And next year, I think in a dream scenario, we're looking at Murray as our 1, Austin Reeves as our 2, Sadiq Bey as our 3, Jalen Johnson at the 4, and Ogundeji at the 5. Clint Capella can go 2. We have a very young rotation there, and we'll get a ton of picks back. We'll get 3 picks from Young. If we trade Bogey, Clint Capella, Hunter, who knows how much more we can get back. We can absolutely load up on draft picks, be able to trade and get whoever we want in the draft, or we can trade away those guys for other players. We have a lot of options here in the offseason, and at least that's the good thing. We have a lot of talented players, and I think they've just proven they can't work well with one another. I would hate to see Trae Young go. He's my favorite player in the NBA. I love Trae Young. But if we trade him for something good, I need to at least see 3 firsts. 3 firsts need to be the start of that conversation. So if I at least see 3 firsts from Trae Young, because we traded Murray for 3 firsts. Trae Young, like I just said, is better than Murray, but he does have a bigger contract. I at least need to see 3 firsts. But if I see Austin Reeves and 3 firsts, I'm taking that in a heartbeat. Austin Reeves is still a really good player, and we get 3 firsts. And then we can unload Trae Young's massive contract too. Maybe try to sign some guys in free agency. I know that Paul George is a name that's been linked to Atlanta. Will Paul George want to actually come here? Who knows? Maybe if we actually give him a max contract. We'll have to see. But just to recap this video, Hawks had a very disappointing season. Yes, it was riddled with injuries, but nonetheless, the team underperformed. Defensively, nobody looked like they gave a crap on defense at all times. Quinn Snyder, I swear to God, isn't doing anything as a head coach. Isn't doing anything. I've seen some Hawks fans be like, oh, we're playing tougher under Quinn Snyder. Yeah, 120 points allowed a game, my ass, we're playing harder. We're out allowing 120 points a game on defense, but we're playing really damn tough. I saw a stat where 5 teams had their season high against the Hawks, all of them within the 150s. You know how many times we let a team drop 150 burger on us? It's absolutely ridiculous. The Pacers dropped like 180 on our ass. We didn't play any defense this season, and it's clear to me that these guys just aren't working well with one another. They need to go. I want to see Daniil Hunter gone. I want to see Bogey gone. I like Bogey. Do not get me wrong, but we just need to get max value for him. Maybe we can keep Bogey. Maybe. I don't want to undersell him too. Like, I don't want to undersell these guys, obviously. But Daniil Hunter definitely needs to go. Clint Capella needs to go. And either Murray or Trae Young need to go. They aren't going to work well with one another. They've had 2 full seasons to do something, and they haven't. And I know the first year Murray was kind of banged up. The second year Young was kind of banged up. But I don't see it happening. We need to trade guys. We need to make moves. I want to be competitive. Or hell, at least blow it up. Or blow it up. I'm fine with that. Don't do any of this middle shit. Either blow it all up, actually. Blow it all up. Trade all the guys. Trade all the guys. Keep either Murray or Young, or trade both. I don't care. Just people need to go. We need to get draft picks, and we need to get new players in the organization. We can't run it back with this team. We need to make trades in the offseason. I'd love to see Quinn Snyder get fired. I highly doubt that, because last season we gave him a 5-year contract, so he's still going to have 3 years left on his deal. I don't think we're trading Snyder. I think we're going to let him ride and see what he can do with the team. There's reports that Snyder prefers Murray over Young. I believe it, so Trae Young's probably getting traded. Like I said, I'm hoping to see Austin Reeves in that trade. We'll see what happens, fan. But disappointing season for the Hawks. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, please leave comments down below on if you agree or disagree with what I have to say. And peace.